Only like half hour late. Nothing. All right, so we were going to try to make a deployment with lightstream as a backup. All right, let's look up lightstream. I have never deployed lightstream. I did review it last night. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Let me try to fix that. 1 second. One second. Are we coming back? Oh, there we go. All right, let's see if that worked. It worked. All right, is there a dark mode to this website? Is there a dark mode? Only retina burning mode. Only retina burning mode. Okay. This should take approximately 20 minutes. I'm guessing then that since they guessed 20 minutes, it will take us 2 hours, but that's okay. We've got to still make our stateful set, so we have a little bit of a shenanigans to do. Now, there is alternatives to Lightstream. I think we're going with Lightstream for right now because Lightstream says a single. So there's like also RQL, I believe it is. I believe it is, where you can run it as like a 3-node cluster. But that's not really what we're trying to do. All right, let's create this secret. Oh, I'm gonna have to go code of silent, aren't I? Yes, I am. All right. Well, give me 1 second. Actually, I have just a little bit. I need to go get our S3 keys. You don't have to go code of silence just yet. What do we need to do? Oh, we're gonna do this with Linode, right? Cone of silence. Trying not to give away like my email and everything to everybody in the world, but you know. So what we're gonna be able to do is do this with any S3 compatible storage, which is pretty cool. I'm probably gonna make a YouTube video about it eventually. All right, so let's create a bucket, and then I'll have to create keys, and then we'll have to go back to cone of silence. Really need to get better about doing this on a different monitor or something. I thought about doing it on like a different monitor, but the different monitor still scares me because I'm just really good at leaking keys. All right, so this will be Twitch alerts. Let's see, select a region. Chicago. That's how it's pronounced, by the way, for the rest of the world. It's not actually how it's pronounced. Yeah, that's fantastic. $5 a month. Enable object storage. Done. The null cloud should have object storage eventually. We don't have object storage right now, so. All right. Let's see. Access keys. All right, this is cone of silence time. Cone of silence. I didn't have Twitch chat open. So if you said something before now, my bad. It's open now. It's open now. All right. Access keys. Create access keys. Label. Twitch alerts prod. Oh yeah, we're calling it prod. This is our prod key. Okay, we have our access key and our secret key. I'm going to just download that. Let me put these into a secret really quickly while you guys are in the cone of silence. I feel like that's probably the easiest way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a namespace for Twitch alerts. Now, eventually, Twitch alerts should be deployed just like everything else is deployed in our cloud. But for right now, we're side loading it onto the cluster that the cloud is going to be made out of. So, you'll have to go back into the cone of silence when I'm actually creating the secrets. But let's go ahead. Actually, okay, we're on our kind cluster, so let's update that. Kind config. I want to say it's use context. Yeah, use context. What is it called? It's like K0S. Maybe it's just K0S. No, it's not. I tried to guess. All right, let's do get context first. K0S cluster. There we go. Should have called it something better than that, like the null cloud cluster or something. Oh, set use context. It's early in the morning for me, so typos will be abundant. So we need to create a cluster. Or not a cluster. My goodness. Namespace. Wait, can't you just... Hey, Mr. Fuzz, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. This morning, we're just working on making a stateful set. Actually, you know what? That's videos I need to do. I don't know that people know how to do stateful sets very well. We're working on making a stateful set that synchronizes our data with the Linode cloud, or any S3 object storage, which is going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we do it all. I have until 11 a.m. EDT, so I have 2 hours and 15 minutes. Then I have a meeting I have to drop for, period. So that's the goal. Get it done. 2 hours, 15 minutes. All right. Wait. No. I thought I could just do k create namespace. There is... That didn't help at all. What? Create a new namespace, but name my namespace. Right, this is exactly what I did I mistype it? Did I mistype it? I might have mistyped it. Okay, create name. Oh, I did mispay. Ah, that's what it was. I was like, I know this is a command. I've done it before. Like I said, it's early in the morning for me, so typos be abundant. All right, so we have our namespace. We're going to create our secrets in it. my gosh, can't type in the morning. Um, my goodness, it's bad. I don't know. Context. Oh, I need to, 1 second. It's kconfig. I need to just do current context. Right. So we need to current context. Yeah. Um, there's a flag for that though. I'm gonna guess it's 1 second. I definitely forget this in the morning, but it's config. So let's see. We have to do the set oh, sorry. Yep. Set context current. That feels that feels good. And then the namespace is cool. So we just updated our context. Now, whenever we do something, we'll do it in the K0 cluster in the Twitch alerts get all, and there's nothing found in the Twitch alerts namespace. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were doing stuff. Okay, now I got to do the secrets. I'll be back. Cone of silence. I need to get audio piping to this. If I get this done soon enough, I want to show you guys my Pipewire configuration, because I thought that I could use Pipewire to just route audio through the HDMI to the streaming PC, but that doesn't seem to be working, and maybe I'm missing something with HDMI. Maybe I need to try replacing my HDMI cables. I don't know. Or maybe my old GPU doesn't let you route audio through them. I don't know. I've not done a whole lot with audio, so I'm a little new to that. All right. Let me put these in really quickly. We're going to create a secret called lightstream. I think I misspelled it in the title of the what we're doing. It's okay. You guys didn't need to know its real name anyways. Nobody does. Now, what do we know about Kubernetes secrets? What do we know? What do we know? Anybody? All right. I can revoke these secrets, so if I accidentally, please just let me know if I accidentally leak these. We'll try not to. We'll try our best. All right. So the idea of what we're trying to do here is that in S3, which is dirt cheap, S3, any S3, AWS, GCP, actually, we might redo this and use Cloudflare, because Cloudflare has an S3 compliant one, which has a lot clearer billing. So we might update it to use Cloudflare, but the idea is that we run it with SQLite, just a single daemon, because that's all we need. We have a stupid simple app with a single daemon, and it writes to an SQLite. If it reboots or something, it will just read the file that's hosted locally. But if it doesn't exist or gets corrupted or something like that, this is going to actually resynchronize it from the S3 bucket, which is going to cost us $5 a month. And eventually we'll be on the null cloud. You'll be able to do that. This exact same thing. Probably not for $5 a month because that sounds too cheap. My goodness. All right. So, okay, get secrets. Yep. So we have our lightstream secret. Beautiful. Let's continue on. Sorry for the eye strain. They don't have a dark mode. And I actually don't trust. Ooh, there is a setting though. There is a setting. One second. Let me see if we can find that setting. I found this out that like I already did it. Website appearance. I always have it try to get the dark mode if there is a dark mode. I didn't know that Firefox had this setting. All right, so it's recommended to run lightstream using a configuration file for flexibility. We'll pass the configuration file by using a config map. First, create a lightstream YAML. Okay, let's do this in a file. Do we do this in? I'm gonna do this in Twitch alerts. We already started the deployment. All right. So let's do lightstream. All right. First, create a lightstream. Locally update your bucket text in a configuration file to your S3 bucket name. This configuration file is set up to replicate a database at. All right, so we need the S3 bucket, and we need the path. Ooh, we might have to update the app to have a path. I think it just looks at wherever it's running, so I think we can just do that as the path. Okay. We could just make this file. Okay, I see what they did here. All right, tell you what, we'll do this one better. We're going to move this, and we're going to call this lightstream config map template.yaml. All right, I'll show you why in just a second. We need to get this data first. Actually, we don't need to. Let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to save the config map. Instead of doing this from file to create it, we're actually just going to generate out the file for it. So -o YAML -- dry run equals client, and pipe that to lightstream config map.yaml. Oh, 1 second. This is wrong. We need lscmt. Done. And now we can look at lightstream. Beautiful. So this is just the full config map. I think this is a little nicer. What do you guys think? Oh, I asked you a question, then I never came back to it. What is the number one thing we know? The number one thing that we know about secrets in Kubernetes? I'm coming back to it. All right, we need this S3 bucket name. Hopefully this doesn't. Here we go. I guess it's just this. Yeah. We'll go with that. Our URL. They didn't give us our S3 URL. But they did say it was compliant. So we're going to go with that. And then in the path, I think, let's check out that container that we wrote. Let's open up code over here. All right. Oh, this is Eddington. I was like, this is not the code I was looking for. All right. Docker file. We are running from user local bin, but are we just running from the root? We're just running from wherever it starts, which I don't know where that is. I'm guessing it's just root. So we'll just do root. We'll have to see. That's probably wrong. This is probably wrong. I'm not actually sure it will matter, though. We'll just go like that. All right. Cool beans. Okay, this is gross. I don't want this. We'll call this a lightstream YAML. Actually, they called theirs that just in case this is like how lightstream picks it up. I don't know. Sometimes, so like they're calling it lightstream.yaml. They should be mapping that though, so we're gonna call it actually YAML. I like to have the A in there. It's so much nicer. All right. K apply -f lightstream YAML. This should apply to our Twitch alerts. Everything's going in there for that single namespace. All right. Sure, a single replica. All right, what do we know about Kubernetes secrets? I keep asking you guys, nobody's answered. What we know is that they're not very secret. We can go get it if we want. If you had access to this cluster, you could go get the S3 credentials. Easy. You could just go query them. There's our light stream. It says opaque, but if you really ask for it, you can get the data out of it. It's just going to hide. See, there you go. So, that's what we know about secrets. I'll go reset that after the stream. So, that is our... Gosh, I should go reset them now. I told you I'm really good at leaking them, but I was showing you that they're very not secret. All right, let's go reset those keys. Should be quick and easy. All right, let's see. Access keys. Let's delete, revoke. Yes. All right, I have to go cone of silence. Anyways, yep. Kubernetes secret keys, access keys are a little notoriously not secret. That's why there's like solutions like Vault and other things to help you manage that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let me just really quickly re-update these with the new access keys. Don't worry, I'm a pro at resetting these things. I don't know how many times I have leaked a key. It's good. It's good. Streaming and programming are fraught with leaking keys. All right. Let me clear this out. Let me clear that. And we're back in business. All right. Cone of silence off. Cone of silence off. One time after resetting a key, I went back to where it was displayed. All right. So we're good. We have our secrets. We know they're not super secret inside of the cluster. They're just stored in etcd like everything else is. And we have our secret. We have our config map. Yeah. And now we need to create our stateful set. This is... Oh, it is an upcoming feature to have multiple live replicas. Ooh. Yeah, okay, so we need our stateful set. I don't think we have created that yet in our deployment. No, we actually created a deployment because I was just like mocking these out, and I'm so custom to doing deployment. So let's all right, so we're creating a volume claim template. It is recommended that pods using SQLite and lightstream run with persistent volume claim. This provides better durability guarantees in the event of a pod crash, and lightstream may have a small buffer of data that has not been replicated yet. Okay. So basically it buffers data on disk, and so if it can rebuffer and send the data, that will help you from losing data. I have never used a volume claim template, so we'll have to see how this looks. Then they're passing in the config map. Do they have just a full and then automatic recovery? So what happens is with automatic recovery, what they're doing here, from what I was reading, is they'll put an init container, and basically the init container checks to see if the database is there, and if it's not there, if the database doesn't exist, it pulls down the data. So basically, if the machine crashes and your persistent volume gets you start the app on a different machine and it doesn't exist there, it automatically synchronizes the database down for you. So that's what all of this configuration. I just want the whole thing to copy and paste. So then they also run lightstream as a sidecar. So a lot of the times, how you use lightstream without containers is just like as a daemon that runs and sits there. Okay, here we go. I just want to see the whole YAML. So it sits there as a daemon on your machine. And I think we can just copy and paste this. I think we're gonna review it really quickly, but I think we're gonna copy and paste it. We just have to update like the my app, and then I think we're solid. So this persistent volume claims template is something I haven't used a whole lot. And basically it's creating a template for a persistent volume claim. So if you guys know Kubernetes storage, you need a claim to actually claim storage. And this is basically, instead of needing to make that persistent volume claim, you can actually just make the template and get it automatically. So yeah, we'll see how that works. This is just the config map that we configured before. This is the init container that's going to actually do our live backup. You'll see that it has our secret mounted there, so that should be good. How's everybody doing today? It says there's 5 of you. That's awesome. I think that's like the most I ever had. I leaked my key to 5 people. I reset it. You can't use it anymore. All right. Let's see. Start your. Okay. So this is the actual application. And set up to share persistent volume. So let's see how they did that. So we have our container, the lightstream container, and we have the volume mounts here. These are the access keys. Let's see. Containers. Here's the. Okay, so I've never used this, so we're gonna see how this works because I guess it should just work, right? Let's give it a try. Never used it. We're just gonna copy this. We're gonna update it to our stuff. You know what we haven't ever done? We made a Docker file, but we didn't push it up to Docker Hub, which is another time for me to possibly leak keys and stuff like that. So, we're gonna have fun today. It's a good wait a second. Oh, okay. They have a service. They do have a service right there at the top. All right, this is not proper. If you're going to do this, you got to do the triple thing. There we go. You can see Visual Studio is complaining about that. We're not going to put a service in here though. We'll put a service in an actual file for service. Do we want a load balance? We want a load balancer. No, we don't actually. We can't have a load balancer. Never mind. I was forgetting. It's stateful set. Stateful set. We need a headless. That's kind of how it goes. All right. We'll leave this as port 8080. All right, and all this needs to be in the namespace, in the proper namespace. Oh, when I was misspelling namespace, you got that I wanted it to be in the right namespace, but when I spell it correctly, you don't. All right, we'll need to update this for here as well. So we're running Metal LB, so we could expose this publicly eventually, but I don't want to put it through Ingress because my Mac is on the same network, the streaming PC. So this should be able to access it without being publicly exposed. All right, so we need to update the metadata. Should be in Twitch alerts. Same for this one. All right. I probably should have done like a find and replace. Let's actually do that. This one I'm not entirely sure because okay, so if it puts the database in varlib myappdb, If it puts it here, will my app find it? Probably not. Probably not, which means we need to update our app to actually look there, which is probably a good place to actually put it. So we need to do that anyways. All right. And then here we actually need to update this to null channel. I think it's null dash channel. We'll have to look up. I don't use my Docker Hub very often. All right. And that should be it. All right. So we have the secret key set up. And this is, remember, we did lightstream.yaml. So we'll update that to not be YAML. YAML? YAML? Yeah, see, you gotta have the A in there. You gotta have the A in there. It's just proper etiquette. That way you can say it like the South. YAML. You gotta draw that A out. For all of you that don't know, I live in the South. So I can make fun of us people in the South of the United States, not South. I don't know where else you would have thought. Southern Canada. All right. Let's update our application and deploy our Docker file. So the big thing with the Docker file here at this point is I'm pretty sure let's go open this up. I'm fairly positive that we do this setup SQLite, which is cool, but where do we get this? All right, so we pass in a DB path, but I'm pretty sure we give a default. I'm pretty sure I've never passed in a DB path. So let's check out what that default is. This is actually something that needs to be cleaned up. Yeah, default value, alertsdb. So this is just going to run wherever it's run. But what it means is we don't actually have to update the code. We just need to actually configure the DB path for production. That's all. So that's good. So let's create another config map. And it's DB path. So that will be, let's go up here, deployment. We're just going to copy this, copy, paste that, rename this to Twitch alerts config map. All right, and so now we'll get rid of all this. We're going to just do good old you're going haywire up. There we go. It was not allowing me to. Sometimes these AIs, they like to take over. They like to take control. We're gonna call this I don't know what we're gonna to call this? One second. I will think about what we're going to call it. I don't know why I blanked on this. We're just going to call this Twitch alerts config. And then, you know what? Maybe we just create a secret. Maybe we just create a secret. The only reason I say this is we also have to pass in like the access token and stuff to Twitch. And we can just shove it all in a secret, which is effectively just a config map that's opaque. Let's do that. Let's do that. This is not actually leaking a key. You'll see in a little bit. But I do have to do like, we have keys to our AI and things like that. So there's other stuff that we'll have to pass in. So we're going to shove this full of data. All right. What was I going to show you guys? Oh, right. How to run this. Cargo run. Yeah. So we have this access token. This is actually already gone. That's why I said it's not actually leaking something. And like the channel ID. So we have all of this stuff to pass it. So yeah, we'll just do it all in one secret, not a config map. Sorry. I went down a wrong path. Wrong path here. Let's delete that. Move that to trash. All right, the easiest way to create a secret. I didn't mean to actually run that, sorry. Stop. Is to do it in a cone of silence. Sorry. I don't know of a better way to do this. So, I mean, while I'm doing some super secret stuff, what are you guys up to today? I know that I have off work today, which is fantastic. Thus, I'm doing a little bit more work, but which is fantastic. What are you guys up to? Anything awesome? Anything cool? Just work? Sorry about this. I wanted to do all of this with you all, but like there is like these are legitimately secrets. So, and I've already to prove a point that secrets weren't secrets in Kubernetes, I leaked keys just to prove that already today. So I am. Maybe I can show you what I'm doing right now. I can show you what I'm doing right now. I will show you what I'm doing right now. All right, so what I'm doing right now. One second, let me actually validate. I jumped the gun a little bit. I can show you what I'm doing right now. Yep, okay. So I'm just basically building out all of the different things for this, and we'll put it into a secret CML. Now, this won't get checked in. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check it in with nothing in it. That way, like the template for what needs to be there is there. For anybody, if somebody wanted to run this, the whole goal for it being an open source project is they could have their own Twitch alerts that were, you know, generated by an AI. So that's the idea. So yeah, I'll check in the template. Um, it's DB path. GPT key is the other thing that we needed. So we'll just do a good old, not a pipe, not a pipe. All right, from. Also, we need to update it to run off of our own AI at this point. I believe there's enough open source ones there. Again, I kind of wanted to get where the null cloud was able to run some things for us, but that might be a year away before it can run an AI. I don't know. All right, so equals. All right, so we have the access token, we have the DB path, we have the GPT key. Was there more that we needed? I mean, there's obviously OAuth 2 stuff if we do OAuth 2, but we're doing an access token for right now. Oh, the channel ID. The channel ID. If you're wondering, for those of you who are wondering, clap is pretty cool. And with this env here, it will actually try to get this from the environment if it can. So if this exists in the environment, it will. So you can pass it as as a flag, or you can just put it in the environment variable as an env, and it will work. That's what I've done a lot. Like the GPT key is an environment variable. So anyways, cool. So we have a DB path as well. DB path, GPT key, channel ID, access token. That looks solid. So are all of you lurking today? I guess so. I think that's it. Let's just go on. Let's assume this is it. I'm going to create this. I'm going to delete it. Then I'm going to create it again. Then we're going to look at it. Vim, Twitch alerts, secrets. There we go. This looks good. All right. Now I'm going to actually fill this in. I'm just not going to put the secret stuff in front of you. So we're going to go, and instead of doing all the dry run stuff, we're going to do it for real. And we're just going to put it right into the cluster. Right in. All right. So the channel ID, I need to actually look at what that is. I need to go here and I forget how to look. You can look this up. It took me a little while. It was not straightforward. I'm not going to lie. It was not straightforward looking up for a channel ID. All right, GPT key. All right. DB path. This is what we were going to run as, what were we going to do? We were going to put it not here. Okay, this is garbage. This is garbage. Where were we? It was going to be like this. It was going to be like this. So we also need to then update. This is fine. I think this is garbage. I think this needs to be like this. I think. We'll see. I haven't done this really. Um, so we updated this, and this is where that was looking at. Okay, okay. So I think we're good here, and we'll throw this in here. I deleted the service. What? What? No, I didn't. It's right here. I deleted it out. I don't do the multiple services. Gosh, I did. I did delete it. You're right. Thank you, Russell. You are more observant than I am. First, why did I have two service files? And two, I didn't do anything except I did update this to be Twitch alerts. Let me remake that. I like it. General naming practice for my files for like Kubernetes. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts if you have a better option. Is like Twitch alerts service. Basically just the name of whatever it is and then the Kubernetes type that it is. So like this should actually be rename this to Twitch alerts. And this is a stateful set, so oh, Rocket League? Nice. We'll probably actually watch them, me and my kids, since I'm not working. Who are you going for? All right, so I think that's the right DB, and now I just have to fill in the access. So let's talk about Rocket League or something, and I'm going to fill in the access token and the GPT key. Unfortunately, for the access token, I'm going to have to type it, which is going to take just a little bit of time. Going to give me a neck creak, too. You think Vitality is going to sweep it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I I, I absolutely love making wild guesses at things that I know very little about. Like I know about Rocket League and we do watch it some, but like the I don't know anything about the leagues. Oh, Riot's got a new team. All right. All right, there's that. And now let me get my GPT key really quickly. Let me make sure that I'm not leaking this. Okay, good. Okay, GPT key. Kickoff the first matches starts in 2.5 hours from now, roughly. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to be done streaming in 1.5 hours because I have a meeting that I promised to go to. So that works out. That works out for me and you. All right, let me make sure that everything is kosher here and I'm not going to leak anything once I stop the cone of silence. That gives you a nice little break to get up and run around, give your heart some exercise. His is actually, I don't eat lunch that early, okay? It's not 11. I don't eat lunch at 11. I'm hoping that I get to do. I'm hoping that I get to do a an interview for you guys. We'll see if I'm allowed to, or if it's interesting enough to do it. So, and then I'm gonna play with my kids, and then I'm gonna work on. I have 2 Rust videos. One's already recorded. I'm gonna work on editing. I'm gonna record the next Rust episode. And then I'm gonna stream tonight. Yeah. Okay, let me actually do this. Everything looks good. All right. I can share my screen again. Okay. Is that everything? Can we just apply everything? Oh, one last thing. One last thing. I need to log into Docker. So I need to look up my Docker Hub credentials because I log into it so infrequently. I'm gonna throw cone of silence on. I get worried about opening my password manager while on stream. Awesome. And just logging into stuff. I'm so bad about leaking stuff. So bad about it. All right. Lunch meetings are the best, by the way. Oh. Oh, gonna build your own keyboard? That would be cool. You should have to share pictures. And then post them in my thing because I don't always follow Twitter. I'm getting better about as soon as everybody's bailing from Twitter, I finally have gotten on there. Life's cruel. Life's cruel. Um all right. like I like that everyone tells each other that they're bailing from Twitter on Twitter, and then about a month later, you see them start posting again. That's pretty fantastic. I You know what? Like, okay, so there's been a whole thing about Twitter rate limiting, which it was like 600 posts or something, and I was like, how many posts do people read that this is ever a thing? That you hit. I guess more than me. I guess maybe people spend a lot of their day on Twitter, which is kind of terrifying. Um, but then my question kind of was thinking like, I don't know that the rate limiting actually made sense to me, and this is why. If it was for bots and stuff, you would require a logged in account. But then that doesn't actually fix it because you could just have the login, you could give the bot a login anyways. So I'm not sure if it actually is the real reason that they're doing it. I'm interested and intrigued because like it literally could be. We saw the time machine go down from a DDoS from probably machine learning. So like the Internet Archives, if um, and so like, is it becoming a problem? Are machine learning algorithms being such bad neighbors? I don't know. Like that's actually some really fascinating data that I'm sure Twitter has. Um, yeah, I'm not sure I like Facebook any better. Yeah, and I haven't had a Facebook account for so long. Like, I know it's strange because everybody like considers YouTube to be like my social media, which I guess it is, but like I've done it a lot more to like help people than to be like a social media because I'm like, oh, I'm not on social media, and they're like, oh, but you're on YouTube. I was like, yes, good point. I am. But it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same. All right. So let's go ahead and build this. Docker build here. We're still pushing too much code. Like 800 megabytes is just too much. Oh, they're not being as reproducible now. So, I mean, that's kind of actually built into the idea of a neural network is that you can give it the same input and it won't give you the exact same output. Um, that's kind of like, and I am probably later this year gonna start my second channel. I'll probably post the content that's on the second channel on this one, but it's meant for more like new users and people that maybe aren't into tech at all. Also, there's only 11 errors. It looks a lot worse. There's only 11 warnings. I need to clean those up though because this is stupid. It's like an unused import. Oh my gosh. That's so bad. I'll clean those up. Um yeah, that's actually a good point. Like did they remove it because they found out they weren't actually legally allowed to train on something that they were training on, or did they remove it just from a our new data set that we use didn't contain enough of that? It's so this is going to be a big problem. So one of the things that I think people aren't realizing about any of our machine learning stuff is one, it's 100% not intelligent. Whatever they tell you, whatever risk they tell you, it's not intelligent. It doesn't think, it doesn't come up with stuff. It is an input and an output machine. You feed it some sort of input, it runs through a bunch of if statements, sophisticated if statements, and it produces an output. And those if statements, the whole magic is those if statements are generated instead of handmade. That's basically the magic that you have. And neural networks a little more complicated than that because you have weights and stuff like that. But that's just weighting an if statement. That's basic graph data theory on weighting edges for like the traveling salesman. Like it's classic things. Nothing special. And I think one of the things is that people don't realize is we're going to have a hard time keeping them stable. Like you said, things he ran a script on the days. Now we lost our ability to copy some artist styles. um, it it's not going to be stable, and a small change could have a drastic change on how it generates stuff, for better or for worse. Um, and having a way to track it, this is why I wanted to start the AI games, is because having a way to track it through time, because they have all their metrics, but all of their metrics try to I mean, it's good because all their metrics are trying to quantitate. Can't say the word this morning, but they're trying to measure it. But I don't think they do a very good job of it, I guess is what I'm saying. So that's why we need the AI games. We're going to make the AI games better. We're working on it. Oh, did you see the news on SourceGraph, Russell? Stable diffusion, not stable. Open AI, not open AI. Not SourceGraph. I have yet to validate it, but they supposedly I saw stuff online. This was something I was going to do tomorrow and the next day for the news. Is they went closed source. I thought you'd like to know. What did we make this as? Did we tag this? SourceGraph? They've been open source since the beginning? Not Cody. I mean SourceGraph itself. Sorry, not Cody. Cody wasn't open source. We didn't actually give this a tag, so we're horrible. One second, we gotta rebuild this. Uh, I almost never do this from the command line. One second, and I'm gonna pull this up. I try not to Google. I never know what I'm gonna pull up. So this right here, this was used to be open source. And now, yeah, they removed their Apache 2. All right, cool. We have our Twitch alerts here. You know what? We probably really should tag this. Let's see. No, we're gonna call it 0.1. It's not a 1.0. Yeah, I mean the community can create a fork if that's what they want to do. Absolutely. Um, they got a ton of backlash. I don't know where I stand on the subject. Um, because I honestly see both sides, which means everybody hates me. Literally everybody hates me. Because I understand where it's like you weren't there, but for the news, we discussed the Red Hat. And Red Hat, I know multiple of the people, and I didn't name them because I didn't want them to get hated on or anything. I know multiple people that work at Red Hat that do amazing work on the open source. And all they do all day long is contribute to the open source. And so Red Hat does something to make money, to pay people to work on the open source. And like, I get that I think Red Hat could have handled it better and done it better and gotten the community involved before doing anything. But at the same time, they have to make money to pay the people that they pay to do that. I don't know. I like I said, I don't think that I take a very popular opinion because I don't stand on either side very stoutly. Don't get me wrong, there's wrong ways and there's right ways of doing it. But it's becoming a real struggle. It's becoming a real struggle. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I used to be on the staunch open source side. And I tend to still lean that way. Like I think Red Hat mishandled it. But right, right. Um I also think right. I agree. I maybe I didn't make it clear. I didn't actually support how Red Hat did it. I understand why. I think that they needed to get their community involved um and talk about solutions to it. IBM is bleeding money. Surprise, surprise. Uh, I wish they hadn't sold the Red Hat or IBM. Like I think that was a bad move. True, because we don't know without seeing the books if it was losing money or a money grab. I actually think if I ever ran an open source company, we would have an open book policy just because of that. Hey, if I'm doing something because I want to be able to continue paying my employees well, you can see why. Like it's not like, oh yeah, and I pocketed a quarter, you know, $2 billion last year. um, which is why I would never run a popular company. All right. We have it out there. Twitch alerts v1. Let's make sure our deployment, our stateful set is looking at the right version. You know what? I did something dumb. I don't want the V in there. That's better. We gotta push that though. I don't know why I'm whispering. Let's see. Where is my... Wait, where's my container? Oh, here we are. Will we just do latest? Latest is really dangerous. Let's not do latest. I'm sorry. Latest is really... So, latest has some problems you might not even think about when you're going into it. But, like, effectively, you don't know what version you're running. You don't know. Because latest doesn't mean that it's always sitting there pulling the latest one. It literally could mean that, hey, it was cached on disk a month ago, and I just used that one. And then like a lot of times you're like, I'll push a new version to get an update, but you don't know when it gets the update. You don't know when it pulls it. You don't know any of that. So don't use latest. Like latest is pretty rough. All right, there we go. We've got it. I think the last thing that we have to do is put our... We basically have to do this with our Twitch alerts. All right. So this is not what we need. We need GPT key. The secret. What is the secret? What did I name? Oh no. What did I name the secret? I forget. Twitch alert secret. There we go. Not so bad. I was thinking I completely forgot to name it. All right. And so we need GPT key. The ref is G. All right, and then this one's going to be access token. So if you guys haven't done one of these before, this is setting the environment variables for your container. And what it's doing is this is going to be the name that the environment variable name. This is the secret reference. This is like the secret that it's in. And then this is the key inside of it. If you remember in our secret here, we actually had a couple ones. So we have 4. And so you could pick anything inside of this. Effectively, it's a config map that's just opaque. All right, we need 2 more. We got access token, GPT key, and that did not copy and paste very well. Oh, it's just this one. I was like, where? There we go. All right. And what was the other ones that we needed? Channel ID. I was I was trying to click on this. And DB path. That's the last one. And sorry if I'm like restating stuff that you already know. There's a lot of people that from a lot of different walks of doing this, so I try to like recache sometimes. Rehash. I know like some people like Russell actually know more than me. I say actually, that sounds really narcissistic. Russell knows a whole lot more than me. And then there's some people that are just starting out. So, anyways, I just try to reiterate it, regurgitate it some, just in case. I do know that they wrote off their crypto branch, didn't they? They shut down their crypto, which I thought was a shame because I used their crypto to make a point because their crypto didn't actually have a token because everybody is like, oh, to have a crypto, to have a blockchain, you have to have a token. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. But people don't. People don't believe me. All right. I think we're good. I think all of this should just work. Now, that's never the case, but we're going to apply all these things and see if it just works. Let's actually finish reading the lightstream post. Let's actually go. All right. Using our application, exposing our service from Kubernetes is outside the scope of this. Is outside the scope of this guide. So we'll test our replication from within the pod using. All right. So what they're saying here is that basically because it's a stateful set, we'll have to do something to expose it, but we'll expose it. All right, let's apply this. So we have our secrets. Our secrets are already applied. We have to apply the config map, the lightstream config map. I misspelled alerts here. Let's rename that. Previously, they had losses in the category of 300 million to 1 billion. Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm betting they shut down their crypto. Well, I know that they turned one of the services off, just because I reported it on the thing that they were shutting it down. So. All right, we're gonna step through these and deploy them one at a time. Okay. Apply -F. Lightstream config map. Okay, apply -F. Their revenue is 60 billion. Oh gosh. It's amazing how long really big companies can take to die. Like they keep doing stuff to like wiggle their way from dying, like buying Red Hat. I think honestly they're going to kill Red Hat, but Red Hat was such a dominant growing force that I think it will help them survive for a while. For a while. I actually hope that there's a reverse takeover. Like I've seen it happen before. I think IBM is too big for it, but I have seen where the the bot company eventually takes over the main company. That would be awesome. I don't think that will happen though. All right, we have our light stream. We'll do our Twitch alerts service. And then, all right, so this stateful set's where the money's at. We'll see if this works. I don't think it's gonna work just this easily. I don't think it's going to. All right, we deployed everything. We got some pending. It's gonna have to pull these images, so it's gonna take a little while. They're small images, I think. I think they're small images. Let me go up and pull Docker Hub. Does Docker Hub not tell me the size of the image? We can just look. I thought that would tell me the size. So I think the big deal, Russell, when you said like ignoring all the news, I never used Red Hat either personally, or like if it was something for work. Like I never pushed any of my teams to use Red Hat or anything like that. There are two two places where I see Red Hat being very useful. And first is if you want to distribute something that was nice about Rocky or Alma Linux was the fact that you didn't have to, you could distribute an image based on one of those two and not have to pay for a license of Red Hat. And a lot of banks and things like that have like these approved images like Red Hat. So if you have something that is binary compatible, they can take it and use it on Red Hat because they know it will work on Red Hat. So if your RPM works on Rocky, it also works on Red Hat. And so it allows you to make one image and it serves, you make one RPM that works on Rocky and it serves two purposes. It works on Rocky, but the banks or any of those other big clientele that have like certification of their OSs, and so getting a certification of a new OS is expensive and hard, and they're already on Red Hat. It kills two birds with one stone, and it's really nice that way. Um, but yes, as far as me personally, it doesn't affect me very much. Uh oh. This seems to be stuck in pending. It should not take that long. Let's check out what this has to say. Sure. It's just more painful. Like it's more difficult to make sure like your test pipeline has a rel subscription and whatnot. Um, it's just more painful. Absolutely though. You're right. You're not wrong. I'm just telling you the convenience of it, or was the convenience of it. I know Rocky found workarounds right now, but I mean, I don't think the workarounds will stay around because Red Hat specifically said they needed to do it to cut their free lunch. Like they weren't it wasn't like, "Oh, we're doing this to they didn't hide why they were doing it, which I appreciated. But that means that they're going to close down the workarounds. That's just all it means. If Rocky publicly says that they have a workaround for it, that workaround will go away. Okay, so we have so it created the claim. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? These are the last messages. Everything's looking fine here. One is waiting. Why is it waiting? Let's go check out the pod. Let's go check out the pod. It's pending. All right, so persistent volume claims. All right, 303 nodes are available. 3 preemption is not helpful for scheduling. So we need to create a persistent volume for these to claim, right? I think that's what it's asking for. All right, so let's create a persistent volume, right? I think that's what it's saying. Yeah, pod has unbound immediate persistent volume claims. So they have claims to persistent storage. There is just no persistent storage to claim. That's the idea. So this is getting all right. I have a question. Did you call it CentOS or did you call it CentOS? Because I literally just like use the last one that I heard, but everybody calls it something different. So I call it both things. I think I go to CentOS, but I think it's dominantly CentOS here in the States. Kills me. I ran Fedora for like, I don't know. I ran Fedora for like 2 weeks and hated it. I hated their package manager. Zipper is amazing. I love Zipper as a package manager. I won't comment on Arch's package manager. I don't hate it as much as Red Hat's. And actually, Yay is pretty good. I like Yay. Pac-Man by itself, I'm not so sure about. You say CentOS as well? One second. My phone is going off. I gotta check it. Could be the mothership. All right. Nope. Not the mothership. So we're good. All right. I haven't made a persistent volume by hand for a while, so let's just Google that really quickly. Actually, let's ask ChatGPT. Chat cone of silence. Don't need cone of silence. Sorry. I'm trying to get really good about not leaking my email. I know that I have, so it doesn't really matter at this point, but try and get good at it so when I do change my email, I don't leak it again. All right. How do I make a Kubernetes persistent volume? Should I spell these things correctly? No. No, I shouldn't. I wasn't talking about the package databases, to be clear. I was just talking about the package manager on the machine because I think Fedora has a fine database as well. I don't really know. Like I said, I used it for like 2 weeks. But the package DB in Arch is amazing. I will agree with that. And that's my thing. Pac-Man is very utilitarian. So do I have a storage class? Ooh. Ooh, actually, this might be. All right, we need a storage. We don't need a storage class. We don't need a storage class, right? Right, we'll do it without a storage class. It's like OpenSUSE. It's like Leap versus Slez. So Slez is the SUSE Enterprise Linux, and Leap is like the OS friendly. It's just different flavors of the same packaging and stuff for the most part. Fedora is much more bleeding edge and futuristic. But the other thing that I would have to say is generally with like Slez and Leap, Slez we packaged it specifically for enterprise customer needs, not necessarily consumers. So like the open source the main open source community didn't have a whole lot of pull or say in it, just because they didn't also use it either. Whereas the leap and whatnot, the community had a lot more sway in how things were done, what packages we supported, things like that. I don't know. We don't need a persistent volume class. We can just do like a local path, right? A host path. That's what I was looking for, not local path. Host path. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Do they have an example of like the actual YAML for that? Come on. Host path. An unstable hand grenade. Then no. What SUSE? I actually I would run SUSE. I think I'm liking Arch. I think I'm liking Arch. Especially because I'm looking. Yeah, don't use host path. We're using host path. I just want an example of it. That's all. I've never actually used host path. I always use a storage class, but no, that's not what I want either. I always feel like I should know this like straight off the top of my head, but it's like I never actually I never actually do this in real life. So like I don't know why I would know this off the top of my head, but I feel like I should. I the oh I need to make the whole file. I don't have a persistent volume. So I get why they say don't use it, because like they want you to use like a storage class. A storage class is a better solution. We're not going to go set up a storage class on bare metal because storage classes want to be backed by something like um um They want to be backed by like a provider that does clustering and stuff like that, and I don't want to set any of that up right now. Um, because basically what happens is with host path, it's bound to that single machine because that's the only one. It's a little bit more painful, but this is a stateful set for SQLite anyways, so it doesn't matter. Twitch. We're gonna do 10 gigs, 10 gigs of alerts. Shoot, 20 gigs. Right, I'm backing it up off cluster, 100%. That's why it just doesn't matter. Yeah. Um, and this is why, like, I don't know. I don't take a when I make YouTube videos and stuff. I don't take a I'm gonna say authoritarian approach to it. I try to give people the tools to make their own decisions. I don't know that it does as well. I feel like people want to like rally behind something. It's like me saying like I can actually see both sides on the Red Hat thing. I'm gonna also call out that Red Hat uh, did it wrong, but also sending death threats to the CEO of Red Hat is also probably also the wrong thing to do. And so like I don't win. I don't win in those. All right. So we have read write once. Is that what we want? No, I think we want what was our persistent volume claim here? Our template. I never used the template before. I was kind of hoping the template would make the would make it wants read write once. Okay. So we're good. We're good. And it's just going to request 100 megabytes, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and apply this then. Let's go ahead and apply it. Oops. Deployment, Twitch alert, host path. Now, let's see. Maybe we need to delete the pod. I've never used this volume claim template. Let's see what the claim looks like. Just not sure if the trolls would pay for it. They would just use the free tier. Do you have Death Threats as a Service free tier? Uh, uh, so we have rewrite once. It's in pending. Why is it? Do we have a persistent volume? Let's check that. All right. So resources request volume. That's fantastic. That's really. Sorry, Clash. Man, okay, so we have our host path here. Did you know this? That if you only have one like this, you don't have to put the name in there. You can just do YAML, OYAML like this and get the output of it. You can actually do it if you have more. They just split them all out as a list. putting the name there is just like a search filter. I didn't actually know that for the longest of time. So this is available. So this is not liking it as it's in pending still. So this claim is still pending. I wonder if we need to put the storage class name in there in the template. I haven't used these templates before. I'm going to give that a shot. So we need to reapply the stateful set. Wow. Deployment, not displays. I don't know why I was thinking displays. I couldn't get that out of my head. So we need the Twitch alerts, stateful sets. Dang it. All right, we'll just delete it. What? I don't know what those gloves are. They're not gloves? That's pretty fantastic. I hadn't realized that. Are they just for looks? Wrist warmers. Gotta keep those wrists warm, you know? Do you guys see if I'm missing something like terribly obvious? I feel like we have a persistent volume. We have a persistent volume claim. One second. This claim was actually created by a template. All right, let me do one thing really quickly. Let's do this. I'm going to switch over here because it's already in the right folder. So we're going to do k delete -f Twitch alerts stateful set. We're going to do then k delete actually get persistent volume claims. We're going to delete the claim because the claims was made off of this template, but it's not actually part of that template, so it doesn't get cleaned up. And so maybe it doesn't get created again if it already existed because it didn't have the storage class. K delete persistent volume claim data to Twitch alerts 0. Now if we k apply -f Twitch alert stateful sets. Now, I just noticed that when I was looking here, it said it was 22 minutes old. We got it. We got it. Nailed it. On like the 12th try. It only took 12 tries. It just wasn't applying that storage class over here. Oh, crash loop back off. Fantastic. You know what? Not surprised. Not surprised. I wrote a bunch. Like, I don't know. We wrote what? Okay, we copy and pasted 100 lines, and wrote another 100 lines of stuff. So for it to not work first try, I guess the persistent volume claim didn't work. So this is the second try, but second try. I always want to do git logs, but yeah. Oh gosh, I meant just this. Okay, so it could be the init lightstream. Um, okay. So it didn't find this. So we remember we made it a YAML instead of YUML. It's YAML. So we missed something. We screwed something up. Right here. Right here. I thought I fixed those. I thought I fixed those. Back into crash loop back off. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what those logs are. It's still looking for what I fixed it. All right, let's look for YAML again. It's not configured for YAML. Why is it? Does it just look for this? Is that all it does? I shouldn't have changed this. So I guess lightstream just looks for that file. All right. All right. Lesson learned. We're going to make that YAML. I don't like it. Don't want it. But that's what we're going to do. All right. All right, that's updated. If it restarts again, I think it should. Oh no, but I have to redo its import anyway, so we gotta kill it. Where's my delete? There we go. Okay. I did it here. Okay. Maybe I did update it in another spot. Let's see if there's another like lightstream. Yep. Yep. Oh, in the init container. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Okay. Improvement. We'll take it. I only have about 15 more minutes. I need a break to make a cup of coffee before my 11 o'clock. So I will be leaving in about 15 minutes. No need to leave right just yet. Okay, wait. So you're convinced I'm taking lunch. I don't even know why like I'm arguing against it. Like even if it was my lunch, what are you gonna say about it? I don't know. All right. It's saying it is a directory. What? So we're mounting. Oh. Yeah, wait, you're British. Don't you guys have like early lunch? Isn't that a stereotype of the British? All right, so this was straight from Lightstream how they configured it. Um that is straight how they did it. Greedy people have 11Zs. uh, okay, I'm all for afternoon tea and 11Zs. Unfortunately, I'll have to do like 11:30s because I have a meeting. A meeting. Isn't this what they did? Yeah, this is what they did. I don't mind updating it to be right. It's just their documentation. Maybe we'll have to. Hopefully, their documentation is. Um. Huh. All right. Let's mount config map as file. So I think the problem here that they're doing, and I just want to verify really quickly. Um, is they're mounting it as a directory with a file inside of it. Um, so yeah, like this one has two different files in theory. And then you're going to let me see how they mount that. Wait, where's the use? Where's using it in a pod? All right, yeah. So here, um, this is getting like the actual key from it. Okay, it's not necessarily exactly what I wanted to do. Um, this is defining environment variables. We did that. Again, we did that. Pod commands, data to a volume. All right, add config mag data to a volume. That's what we wanted. Um, this is the data they picked. I don't know. So let's see. This is the mount path and the name. So like I don't know what they're doing with this subpath here. I guess is mine. Let's check the volume. Let's see. Where are our volumes? I think they're up here. Volumes. All right, config map, lightstream. So that looks fine. I just think I think our mount path should just be Etsy. And we shouldn't have a subpath. Maybe the subpath is specifying its name. I've never used it. Let's take that back and do subpath. Like that's the name of the file. Let's just try that. We have another lightstream YAML down here for this one. No logs? Did it work? No. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. No logs from that though. So let's just get logs from the main container. It's still waiting to start though. Um Those are waiting to start, and the init light stream isn't saying. Maybe it's making a connection. Maybe it's making a connection, synchronizing, doing something because it's not logging. Whatever it's doing, it's not. I wonder if there's logging levels we could initiate. Although it's restarting. So it's not working. Hmm. Did we hit a new problem? Do we have to delete the persistent volume claim each time we do this? Is that the idea here? Maybe we screwed this up. I think this is a bad move. Maybe we do this. Lightstream YAML. It wanted this. It wants this object here. But I think we screwed that up. we just screwed that up royally. And the thing is, Lightstream only seems to be able to read data from here. Like, that's where it needs to be. What am I missing? I feel like I just missed something really simple. So we're mapping the config map here. I need to see. So here is Etsy config. They're doing config volume. Right, this is making the files in this folder. I'm going to get rid of the subpath. Because it should just make it in the directory that we give it, which is Etsy. Right? Well, I don't know where to configure it because this is the place to configure it. So, like, where would I configure where to make it look? Except in this configuration file. Maybe a command line option? Probably a command line option, actually. You're right. I say you're right. You haven't said anything, but that's probably true. There's another issue with the YAML versus YAML. Okay, we can look for it. I can redo all of the stuff that I've done. Because, yeah, I'm obviously not helping. It's not even, it does not like mounting stuff directly into Etsy. So we'll go back to this. So this is how they had it. And this is the Lightstream config map. Lightstream.yaml. Correct. Yes. It's mounting on top so it hides the root FS Etsy and replaces it with your mount. Which then causes problems. Agreed. But this is making lightstream.yaml a directory. And the data key. I don't understand. We have our config map lightstream. This file? Whoa! Bookzer! Bookzerker! Thank you for the raid. What's up, everybody? How are you doing? I get it. No, I changed this back from YAML. So we are debugging some YAML right now, which is a little bit of fun. Maybe it's your worst nightmare. We created a stateful set. We're having just a few problems with Lightstream. Have any of you guys ever used Lightstream before? This is a Rust application that we're trying to get. We're trying to get this Rust application deployed in a container. Never done that before with a Rust container. And we're trying to use Lightstream as a side container. I am YAML herding right now. But have no fear, there is Rust code that's being herded by the YAML. I don't know, that probably makes it worse. But thank you for the raid. I super appreciate it. So what we've done here is we actually have custom Twitch alerts for raids and follows. It's broken because it's not in a container, and it really didn't play well with my Mac Mini, which is the PC that's streaming. I have a streaming PC that's just this little Mac Mini, and it didn't like running on it. And so we were like, we're going to containerize it, run it on my home Kubernetes cluster here. And that's what we're doing. So then you get custom Twitch alerts, which are pretty fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so we wrote all of this Rust to give us custom Twitch alerts. It's open source, so you can use it too, Bookzer. Bookzerker. You can use it too. It creates. You probably don't want to use it right now. Give me a couple more months with it, but it does AI generated Twitch alerts. So basically, every follower or subscriber gets a custom message generated for them. So it's pretty fantastic. Now, we're having a current problem with our Kubernetes cluster. If any of you are familiar with mounting some stuff, so we have this Lightstream config map that we were trying to mount as on a stateful set. Yes, it is like a little D&D adventure. So the AI is very much about D&D and very much likes to yeah, anyways, you'll have to check it out. It does work, but it just works only on Linux. So, right now. Not on a Mac Mini. I don't know why either. So I don't know if you've used Clap. Have you guys had issues with Clap on a Mac Mini? So for the we just use Clap here for like access tokens and things like that for our application, and unfortunately, Clap doesn't seem to want to work with the M1 Mac Mini. And it's not my development machine, so maybe if I developed on a Mac more, I would know how to deal with this. But like a lot of these are like it doesn't observe these things. Like if I pass it an access token, it still complains that it needs an OAuth service key, which it doesn't if it has an access token. And this works on Linux. It just is failing on the Mac Mini. So, all right. So what we were doing was trying to get this to work. Config map. So we have this config map that's configured like this, and Lightstream itself was asking us to mount it like this. So that's what I initially did, which is what we currently have it as Lightstream wants it. Thank you very much, Bookzerker. It was nice seeing you. I'll have to check out your stream in a little bit. The next time you're on. All right, so if this is the case, let's get those logs. I always do get logs. K logs. I can do it. I can do it. We need the init lightstream. I don't know that I deleted the deployment. Yeah, see, now it's complaining that it's a directory. Gosh dang it. All right. Well, unfortunately for Brooke Zucker, how does he pronounce his name? Brooke Zucker? Or their name? I don't actually know them. I too actually have to go for my job. I have like 2 minutes left to go. Let's see if we can't find somebody to re-raid with all of you fantastic people. I do apologize for this. I feel a little bad. Unfortunately, my stream is also coming to an end. It was great seeing you all. Let me find us a stream. We will re-raid. Do you guys like Rust? Because we're big on Rust and Go and Kubernetes. I don't know what you guys like, so I can try to find you something along those lines. I super appreciate all of you guys sticking around for a little bit. Let me find the categories. I'm not a really great streamer. I'm trying. I'm learning. All right, let's see. We have some I gotta find somebody doing Rust. There's gotta be somebody doing Rust, right? This guy has Gang and Rust, English and Crab. Rewriting, this looks good. They're rewriting Linksider from scratch, probably in Rust. Never met this person, but we're going to rate him. Let me do that right now. All right, thanks everybody. And sorry for just passing you further along. I really appreciate it. Had a fun stream, and see you later.